Hello, friends and gamers. Oh, I still have. Okay. I had my I'm like I've pulled myself up on different things and I'm stressed. Um I'm trying today to record myself on different things so that there are different audio outputs. Um that's proving to be a bit of a stress so far, but here we are. Um I'm really trying. I also I'm using a different program. I'm using Streamlabs instead because that works slightly better, but it might still not work. It nothing maybe nothing works. Who knows? I'm really going to try. I'm going to try to do this. I have my chat pulled up in two different places because sometimes that doesn't work. Um we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. Uh God, what is happening? Can you? Because Streamlabs is like, oh, you no, you connect to chat. No, I refuse. Why? Um, but I think that we can start playing the game. Here's the game. Um, oh God, this is gonna be distracting because I'm like in a couple of places. I've got too many little boxes on my screen. Oh, why is that? Oh, okay, we're good. Again, worrying about everything. That's fine, right? This is fine. I should have maybe tried to do this before the stream started, but okay. This also still gonna be distracting. Troubleshooting time live on air. Um, just moving windows or screen. See, sorry guys. I don't want to see my face. It's not even my face. It's like my screen. I'm recording this. I'm recording this because I need to in order to do the separate audio thing. That means that everything sucks and is bad. Okay, are we ready to play? I think we're ready to play. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna play the game now. And the audio might be bad because. Oh, I should like do a YouTube thing, huh? Welcome back. It's another Phoenix Wright video. I'm doing it again. Um, I'm gonna play. The audio might be bad because I am on a new program. But I might be able to edit properly this time. So we'll see. Let's go. Immediately a little bit loud in my own ears. Hello? I just booted up the save and it's immediately like, please save the game. I already did. It's also, I'm confused on where it's saving itself to. Okay. April 20th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. I forget where we were. Count will now reconvene. I love this game already so much with my entire heart. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered? Oh, I was doing voices. Yeah, Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness. Perhaps we can hear her version of the events. The. Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again. That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued. You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. I might try the goofy voice at some point during this stream. You'll just have to find out for yourself if I actually do. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Ms. Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. She's so scared. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Oh god, I'm on the wrong tab. Oh, she's so scared. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poor loser. Wow, got him. And yet, not. She's a cool pirate. Oh my god, I love her. I mean, not pirate, but like, she's very cool. Oh, I was doing a Russian accent for her. Comrade. Niet. Name's Olga Orly. That's the truth. I am a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orly. I don't know if she still has the accent now, because she's changed personalities. Oh really? Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really. Okay. I couldn't tell if I was supposed to keep doing the accent or not, but she super does not have it. She's a liar. Okay. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. Oh, she's so cool. Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see? I'm afraid to do the goofy voice. I'm sorry. The last time I tried to do it, I laughed so hard that I had to stop doing it. I gave up. Uh, Let me remind you that you're currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences. Again, the perjury system in this in the Ace Attorney universe is so interesting. They just kind of let people get away with whatever. But okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll try, but I'm afraid to. Okay. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. As a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. Wow. Okay. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand. Okay, I do remember last stream, I was very confused on why she was like, oh, I planted it on Wright. Like, what? Why? Why would you do that? But I think this is to frame him for cheating. Okay, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. Yeah, so framing him for cheating. So his record is wrong. Yeah. I still am a bit confused. You swapped the cards. Yeah. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Indeed. Oh no. Getting caught red-handed at cheating. See, it turns to Southern so fast because I just don't know how to do it. And then I have to yuck myself back into character. And it's certainly interesting. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins. A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. Is it beautiful? I don't believe you. Also, the chat is definitely supposed to be on the screen, but I suppose it's because it's not, it just doesn't want to connect to chat on my, on OBS. So, I guess it's just not gonna happen. Yeah, I probably will just let it be whatever, but I don't know. I was trying to go with what RT Games set up for the characters, and I can't. I'm already failing badly. If there are so few players that had like or characters that had a accent that or that there were so few characters that would stay through the games because I know like all of the characters change past the trilogy, but whatever. Um yeah. I'll fix the chat box next stream. I'm annoyed at that though because at least Twitch Labs worked, but OBS is not. Okay, anyway. Oh really? Oh really, Ollie? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree, the trap was elegant. Yet, what happened to that planted card? Hey, that's right! He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers Orly. Oh, really? Oh, oh, really? The witness would be... Ew. Would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick. She doesn't need to be cute. She can be an evil mastermind if she wants. Yeah, cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. Hell yeah. When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. This is bad. Yeah, when you're through being bad with your accent. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. Alright, the best laid traps. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant. Why? A surprisingly frank testimony. Should I just have him be Southern? I feel like that's all I can do at this point. Testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark. The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect! If that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up. Look who's talking! Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice. With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? Wow, Apollo. He was once a defense attorney, I'll have you know. Anyway. I'm just gonna press everything to kind of get back into it because I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. This planted card, which card was it exactly? The trump card, the 5 of hearts. Let me guess. Mr. Wright was supposed to have switched the 5 with the ace to make a full house. I guess. At least that's what you were gonna accuse him of doing there by ruining his legend. I slid it into Wright's pocket. When was this? Why? Now I'm like doing a southern accent for Olga when she was supposed to be Russian and then stopped being Russian. So now she has no accent. Why, before the match, of course, while he was eating. At the Borscht Bowl Club where we serve borscht and suckers. Ooh. Okay. Remind me never to go there. Of course, the card was to make its grand debut during the game. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken. Ew. And Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. That's when Smith searched him. So everything went according to plan. Exactly. 5th ace came up, so it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. But it didn't, right? Wait, hold on. Can I don't entirely remember what the final hands were. Yeah, I think there was no 5th ace, right? Yeah, there was never a 5th ace. So where did it go? The fifth ace came up, but it didn't come up. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheat and a fraud. There are worse things to be known as, I suppose. Tell us what happened with the search. Okay. Yeah, because that's only within the press. If she added it to her testimony, I suppose I could call her out on it, but it's clear that they want me to do something else, so I will do something else. But the planning card was gone. The card disappeared. I mean, clearly Wright noticed it and took it like out or something. Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts, gone without a trace. Poof, Zippo. Great. We searched every nook and cranny, even inside his cute little hat. Anyway, but the card was nowhere to be found. Is this correct? He ate it. If he actually ate it, what on earth? Anyway, never in my long storied career, never has Quick Fingers Orley been so readily duped. Oh, really? So what did happen to that 5 of hearts? Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant? Wow. Some kind of grudge here. Anyway, so the 5 of hearts is still missing in action. Also, we haven't gone back to the fact that we were like, oh, it might be there's another person in the room. But okay. Like a 4th person. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? You searched Mr. Wright, thoroughly, and found nothing. Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Yes. Well, hello? What was that just now? Oh, I do remember. The last trial, it was like, Phoenix was like, you can tell when a defendant is, or when a person is lying, when a witness is lying, because they'll like do the motion of the hand on the back of the neck or in the hair because they're uncomfortable, which is an actual psychology thing. But I was like surprised that it was gonna be a mechanic in the game, and here it is. I sensed something. You just like noticed the. Anyway, something wrong, Mr. Justice? No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Yes, because it's clear that she's uncomfortable. Yeah. Miss Orley, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? You. Me? Quick Fingers Orley, hiding The defense will refrain from baseless accusations. Objection! The defense will refrain from baseless accusations. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. She's lying. I saw it. Oh my god. That effect is weird. I saw it when Wright hit him with my own eyes. I saw it. This is weird vibe I'm getting. I don't know. They decided to put some weird distortions on this thing. That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Yeah. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it? She is... Oh my god. Why the close-up? Oh my god. This is so scary. What's going on? The sensation. It's coming into focus. There, that twitch. It's so clear. What are you doing, Apollo? This is so creepy. Like I could perceive her habit like I... It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before. Perceive button? Gotcha? Hello? Miss Orley, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. I know what he's getting at, but no one else knows what he's getting at, and he's going to sound insane. My neck? So what? Well, indeed, Justice. Hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory and she touches her neck. Is that what they're claiming this is? I'm sure of it. A memory? A memory? A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about? This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. Goodness, my voice. Let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us? Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss Orley, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an inerasable impression on your neck is this. I mean, it has to be the bottle, right? But that's implying that, oh, I forgot what the button is. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, it has to be like she was hit, right? That's still assault, though. Oh, well. Whenever she talks about okay, that's right. Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. What reminds us more of that moment than this bottle and the murder weapon? I don't get it. But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? What? What's he? Oh, God. What's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit. Not you. Objection! This is a cross-examination, not a wild conjecture. Blech. The witness's habits, they're completely irrelevant. Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. Hello? Miss Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment. Yet. I am knowing nothing. Where'd you get your stuff back from? We know you're not Russian. The witness will testify, please. Now. I love that animation. Anyway. Bah, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there. Different personality, but the same testimony. Oh, this was just the last... Because I was just pressing everything. So I guess this is just the last piece of the other testimony. I believe you have your word you want, Your Justice. The circumstances have changed, yet your testimony is not. That means there's got to be a contradiction in there. Quite. Okay. Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. He's the one who did it. Okay. You seem uneasy. You try sitting up here. Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like? Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at that table until the cops came. That's not true. He called the police. Alright. This music is intense. Oh my god. Intriguing. I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this witness. So, what do you think about her testimony? I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is flawed, obviously. Is basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. Yeah! What's that? Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence you claim contradicts the testimony. She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. I don't even have to save. I know this. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Take that! Miss Orley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. Ah! So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Where was she? Why did... Lobster falling through the sky. The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Let's go, gamers. We saw this cutscene before. But it's probably different? Showdown time. Yeah. You dirty cheat! Check his pockets, now! Oh, that sounds like an order to someone else. Yeah. It's gone, the card's gone. You lose. Ah! Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right, and he hit me. Oh. You! Some master at cheating you turned out to be. No! Yeah. When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? Oh, the victim is already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. I mean, yeah, but she's like, she was unconscious. I mean, I guess that provides like a time for her. She could be lying about being unconscious, but I would have rather... Well, where does this leave us? Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. Oh, sorry, I'm not doing the voice. Madness. That's a really grating voice. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this. It appears I'm getting my voices mixed up. It appears our prosecution is at its wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame them. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a big fat liar. Hello? What? 3 were in that room on the night of the murder. The defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive. Motive? A plot foiled, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of that argument was murder. What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me. I don't know. Stop giggling, dude. What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. Hello? So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Get to the point, my dude. Mr. Rat? Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. No, I do agree that this is too fast of a conclusion, but I also kind of was willing to accept it because it's the first case. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder? We're bringing this up again. Okay. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. A 4th person. Objection! Ha! This theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist! Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Hello? Hold on. Love it if anything worked. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. The real criminal? And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. Right at the beginning of the trial, no less. What? Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about? I super don't, my dude. Sorry. Remember what I said. Fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error. They weren't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Again, hate that language. I think it's ridiculous. He or she is flunky. Right. But how could such an obvious mistake occur? Cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there is one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Was it Kristoff? I swear I thought it was Kristoff who said that because he was doing some weird poetry, some waxing. Because I remember they used the phrase waxing poetic, and I was like, why is this? What's happening? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was? I have no idea, actually, but I have a guess that it's Kristoff, but I think that's also an insane guess. It's not me, I swear. Who is Jesus Christ. Who is this fourth person? Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? I don't know! Who thought the cards... I don't know who thought the cards used in the final game were blue. Oh. No! Whoa! What did I click? What did I click? I didn't mean to click anything. I have to deal with the consequences of my actions now. As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right? Who did I click on? I didn't click on Kristoff! Oh, I was like hovering over Kristoff and I clicked forward. I like clicked up on Phoenix and I guess that meant like present. Okay, but I do remember I was editing the video before and it was like Kristoff was also dining with them. Is this man seriously accusing? Oh, that's why he wanted me to be his actual defense attorney. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. That doesn't... But you would, in person... You can't tell which of the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or on the table. But look, you can see the colors in this photo. The blue is on that. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. True. I'm still confused though, my dude. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. It was only that, a game, in the pure sense, a competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, the backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Yeah, I remember this. I'm still so bummed that I didn't get to make the realization that it was Kristoff myself and, like, confidently put forward that answer. Like, I'm genuinely considering, like, going back and doing that again because it feels so unsatisfying to not have figured it out myself. But oh well. I mean, I did figure it out, but the way it was submitted. Well, oh. And I need to remember that it's Shift F1 to save. Anyway. Well, Kristoff. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin, is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me. It was just so sudden. Right. You're not seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Kristoff? You know even I'd never take a joke this far. Jesus Christ. Phoenix, what's going on? This is... oh my god. This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder. No, I'm his defense attorney. I assure you I'm quite sane. But what possible connection can Mr. Gavin have to the victim? I wasn't aware that I had a... Huh? I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Oh. Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met. We've already proven that they did meet the night of the murder. But whatever. Well, what if they have? Huh? There is a possibility, after all. We may have met that night before the game started. Yeah. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court. Oh, wow, this is interesting. The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin? Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happening before the game of poker be related? Because it... I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley... Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Thank you! Somebody stands up for me in this world. Got him. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Thank you. Oh no, my headphones became unplugged. Now I do not get to listen to the banging music. Okay, we're back. Oh, okay. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Of course I'm gonna hear his testimony. He's my client. Anyway, this was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. Probably. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. At two, Justice, you would betray me, your teacher? I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Yeah! I love these games. Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please. Appetite before murder. It's a bit cold in here. Fan's not on. That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and the girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another call to defense attorney Gavin. I don't... He's lying. Anyway, Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Ball Club the night of the murder? I dine with him rather frequently. And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears I was wrong. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice. Sir! He's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir? Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? Sounds like, what's his name on the Magic School Bus? Why can't we go on a normal field trip? Anyway. I don't want to press everything. Jesus Christ, this music is so, like, stressful. Let me look at this. I don't actually... Hello? What's on the back? Wow. Batteries are held with a piece of tape. Oh my god. You should just buy a new one. Maybe you can't afford it or he just doesn't care. I thought that was gonna be an actual clue. Okay, it just says, yeah, Arnold. Thank you. He is a coward. I would have loved to go on those field trips, but whatever. Yeah, it just says notify the police. Because I remember from the cutscene, I thought he was calling about the murder specifically, but it also definitely, like, also we didn't, the cutscene is for the player and not for the character. Whatever. So I don't know what evidence I have, but I do want to press this. Uncontrollable how? Oh, well, they're not going to answer that. You made the call to the police on the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout. Was anyone else on the first floor at the time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night, after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Cabin. So you also would have to go back upstairs for that. Tell me about this. Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin? No, I want to know if you were calling him from the first floor or not. Whatever. I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair, and I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Ah, glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved, after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about? Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now. Jesus Christ. Yes, sir. I have to think, what's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere. I don't get it. I'm not smart enough. I'm just gonna press everything. You dinner with Mr. Gavin. Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl Club quite frequently. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano. I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting. So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner? Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Kristoff. Excuse me. We dined for 2 hours, and then Kristoff left. After that, Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. Okay. 5 minutes? So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time. That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Kristoff, Gavin, and Shady Smith may have met. I believe I did say that. Here I was all nervous about this meeting. And now we hear they just passed in the hall. That does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder. Oh, it would be, if that was all that really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright, please. What are you hiding this time? When the trap failed, he hit the waitress. About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Orley mentioned. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand. I guess he didn't... I mean, he heard this, but, like, we don't know what he thought about it, I guess. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swap the cards. Etc. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. I know. Yeah, what about this trap? Yes, a harmless prank in essence. Wow. It's by a quirk of fate that I happen to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket. I found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card. Before the game. That's interesting. Disposed. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. Huh. Okay. I threw the card inside the bottle. An empty bottle of grape juice. The murder weapon? My dude. Okay, I did just have to press everything. Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see. A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like terrific drama. A card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. Mr. Wright, the poker head of court number 3, approves of this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information. Yeah. Let's check. There's not really much I can... I guess we'll just, like, examine. Bottle's completely empty. Yeah, okay. They're not gonna, like, show a graphic of it, but they're just gonna be like, oh, the bottle's empty. Cop out? Okay. Like, that's clearly what I'm supposed to do. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? I've examined the bottle, and I don't see any card in here. Huh? No? What, Mr. Wright? Surely isn't all you have to say for yourself. I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a 5th person came in and took it out? Oh, and a 6th person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. Not really. My apologies, Your Honor. I won't have you disparaging or Jesus. Investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. Little rat man. Okay, so what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Hoodwinking, my dude? Or did the card just disappear? In any case, please continue the card's examination. I'm afraid to say Oh, I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence. Oh. It is a contradiction, though! My god, dude. Push him hard to justice. Break him! Violence. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO! Oh my god, what is wrong with you? Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Yeah, well, he hopefully will pay you for this. Whatever. Okay. I guess we just press more things. Why in the bottle? I perceive my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you say. I knew it was coming. Oh, so you struck first. I like that. I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. When I returned, he was dead. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Hold on. My dude. Why a cut on his forehead? That is interesting. I do like that they're like, oh yeah, that's a contradiction, but it's not gonna do anything for you because it's not a good enough contradiction, but we also won't take, like, health away. And when you return, the victim was already dead, yes. I'll admit it, I was a little startled when I walked in. Little? He was bleeding from his forehead after all. I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that. I'm gonna save it. Oh. Excuse me, I'm gonna save it and try. Well. A cut on his forehead. I don't know which piece of evidence to report. Is it this or this? Or maybe this? Because if the hat was already on, then he would have not seen the cut on his forehead, and also it's not a cut, it's blunt trauma, so I don't actually know what they want me to present, but it might be... Let me save it again. I'll try this first. I was right the first time! I hit my microphone. I got too excited. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. Take a look. Look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. Christ. Christ, I love this game. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. I'm so sorry for screaming in your ears. Or hitting the microphone, or both. I got too excited. I'm gonna turn my mic volume down a little bit. I still, yeah, sorry. I still don't entirely know if, like, the audio levels are good. So, the screaming is the fun. Okay, good to know. I wouldn't think you could see the blood on his forehead. Good point. Thanks, Phoenix. Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. I put so much oomph into it that I hit... Okay. Yeah. I put so much oomph into it that I hit my microphone. So, I don't think I can do any more than that. Sorry. I don't know what it was at before. So we're just gonna, like, hope that this is close to what it was. That's a little loud. We're just gonna, like, click around until something looks right. Okay, that's fine. Mr. Rat, can you explain this to the court? Ah, I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head. Why, my dude? Eh? You? You put the hat on the dead man's head? You wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph. Shining? And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head. You are a defense lawyer. You should know that that is so stupid. Well, why'd you do such a thing as that? Like a thing like that? All I can say is, I'm sorry. My dude, you dingus. You little dingus. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. I don't believe you anymore. So, Miss Orley didn't see it. It being the victim's, head. I'd think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin. This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Oh my god, dude. That's gotta be, like, that's probably a painful memory for him, and you're just, like, bullying him over it in a court of law. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. I'm not getting anywhere with this. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. I mean, you kind of... I guess it's not a lie. I guess it's not a lie. But, like, my dude... Phoenix figured out that the perjury system in this world sucks and has decided to take full advantage of that. Eh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. Why? Reason? That reason is right here. your phone, your cell phone. That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. Oh, okay. What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. You think? What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. The gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good. Oh, we got like half of this conversation through the cutscene. Yeah. He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china plate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please. Cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. Bone china plate. Yeah, that's what stuck out to me too. Are they really going with the fact that it's like Kristoff couldn't have known he was bald because he was wearing a hat the whole time? Is that what we're going with, my dude? Yeah. What? A kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny. I know what that is. And plate. And not plate, but pate. Pate or pate? I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. Yes. But why pate? And I mean, there's no accent over the E, so I'm not sure if it's pate or pate, but still. Either way, it's a weird whatever. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Hello? We were not. We never were. Wait a second, something's not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club. Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate? Oh, that's right. Yes. You just... Are you... That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Okay, because we're saying that he couldn't have seen the damn balding forehead because the... Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court? Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? Oh, also the fact that it's like a blow to the head, I guess, when he only said he was struck. Maybe. But that doesn't explain the hat. Whatever. So, this is your reason. Oh, so this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it? Phoenix right. Jesus. Weird. Order! I will have order. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony? Well, as the prosecutor, Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes. After which, Mr. Gavin will take a stand for the cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. This is weird. This is so weird. I know... I just wouldn't expect this from the first case. Like, the second, fine. First case that I'm ever doing in this game, I'm afraid. Very well. This will be the final recess for the day. April 20th, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this? Not me, Apollo. May I? A child! Huh? What? Oh god, I'm gonna need to give her, like, a distinct voice that I can do. Because I can't have Apollo, Phoenix, and her all have the same just my regular voice. I'll try and do like a girl voice, but a girl voice, I say, being AFAB, but whatever. Huh? What? Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. What's all this about? Uh, is this one okay? Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it. This has got to be from Phoenix, but like, what the hell does it mean? A trump card? The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all. An ace with a blood spot on it? Where do I remember this card from? Yet. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. Oh, fun. A card analogy this won't get old by the end of the game. Oh, no. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. The missing 5th ace. Can I look at this photo? It's the wrong photo. It's probably not in the photo, and this is probably a waste of time. Okay. Yeah, it's not. Missing 5th ace. Wait, this blotch of red. Is this blood? Probably, my dude. You are a defense attorney in a case about a homicide. You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. Okay. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. The original sprite where she's just like complete blank face is so scary. Like, she seems like a little spirit just departing, like imparting knowledge and then whatever. I know you can do it. And fading away just like that. This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. Okay. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? In the locket, I know. That's when I made the connection. Ta-da! A child. Bloody ace added to the court record. Thanks for that. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, my dude. Guess I'll... Give me like 5 seconds. Right, the authentication. I really wish that this would, I think in order to fix the chat, I've been thinking about this the whole time. I think in order to fix the chat, I have to log in and out of Streamlabs, and that would mean I have to stop the stream and then go back. And I just super don't want to do that. So we're just gonna keep going, and pretend that nothing's wrong at all. And this VOD will just have no chat, which is like fine. It doesn't matter, but I'm just anxious about everything. Alright. Court will now reconvene. Defense attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Slay. Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. Well, the witness state his name and occupation. Is this farce necessary, Your Honor? Yeah, I mean, it's not even that wrong. It's just bothering me. I can pretend nothing is wrong if there's a really serious thing wrong that I'm ignoring because I just don't feel like dealing with it. This is just like a really small thing, and it's just going to bother me for some reason. Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. They definitely have. There's been a parrot here. Fine, I'll play along. First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat? By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow said? Yana seems to have an inordinate interest in it. Hello? How did you get here? I didn't let you into this little booth. Get out. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Wright! What do you think you're doing, Wright? Oh, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo. I mean, you were a defense attorney. You should... whatever. Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never once taking it off except for that one time. That one time being the instant he was hit. Oh! Yeah. When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, Jesus Christ, words are so difficult. When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was laying on the... the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime at the time of the crime. In other words, you'd have to be the real killer, is what you're trying to say. Not bad, Apollo. I should have probably done that further away from the mic. I was just taking a drink of water. Mr. Gavin. I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with this court. Whoa, what? Didn't you have like 10 minutes to prepare this dude's testimony? You just didn't use it? Okay. Oh, I assure you I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well. Allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night. Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night? The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. It must have been... Oh, I should be doing that accent. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding the bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright. Alright, my dude. So, you witnessed the murder? For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed. Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team? Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client. Yes, but you are making him testify. And he is a lawyer, and he knows better than to lie on the stand unless he did a crime. In which case, he's got bigger problems. Anyway. I'm standing on the witness stand, after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. You had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh. Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Oh, yeah, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder. I mean, you knew this was coming, but okay. My dude. That man, you mean Mr. Smith or Mr. Wright? He was different from the other customers, his aura, shall we say. I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than that. So then, you knew the true nature of your client's job? Of course, but I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal. Well, it makes sense that he'd know. They were friends after all. Wait for my friend, I returned to the club. You see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score. I see. What happened then? I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window. Can I look at the crime scene photo? Yeah, to that window. You would be able to see the head from there. But I don't know. I'm not gonna present anything. I'm just pressing. The little window. You mean the one used to keep watch up the stairs? That's how that window works? I was confused, but okay. Yes, a relic of the ancient past. The Black Marketeers used it, I believe. I think we discussed this last time, but I entirely forgot. Why did you go through the trouble of peeking in through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room? It's true. I didn't want to upset Wright, you see. Upset Mr. Wright? Yes. What if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least. I suppose. So far, everything he's saying makes sense. Yeah. Must have been right after the murder took place. How do you know it was right after the murder? Really, no need to shout, Justice. I was just getting to that part of my testimony. Ah, there he is. The coolest defense in the West we know and love. I think I'm gonna try and give Phoenix, like, a slightly deeper voice than my Apollo voice, so they're slightly distinct. But, oh well. Even when you're standing up there on the witness stand, some things never change. I was afraid you'd change too, right? But you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Am I right? The victim was dead as he appears in the photo. By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene? Precisely. You see, he wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head when he was dead. Thanks. And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat. Can you describe the scene of the crime for us? Bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding the bottle in his hand. Those were the only three at the scene of the crime. Yes, as far as I saw, at least. Then we're back where we started. His voice is kind of going southern, but like nasally southern. But it's getting too close to the judge's voice. Objection! Then we're right back where we started. It's a bad voice. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police? 2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend. Are you sure, Apollo? There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime? Justice, I just said I saw no one, not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. No, he was saying the 4th person was... There are 4, counting Mr. Gavin. Whatever. Ah, yes, this mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose? Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap cards in the victim's hand? What is the reason? Perhaps you could show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary? How can I show something I can't find myself? Remember, Apollo. The card that was swapped out was the 5th ace. Oh, because it has blood on it. Of course you would need to swap a card out if it has blood on it, because then it... Why do you need to swap a card out if it has blood on it? You are at a crime scene. I guess if they tested the blood and it was not... Whatever. Well, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason? Not yet. No, not yet, Your Honor. I mean... Not yet? Pathetic. Not yet. Try not ever. Well, Mr. Gavin? Oh, I'm willing to wait for as long as it takes. I wanted to press the other piece of the statement. Apollo. Yes, sir. Don't forget, you already know the answer. You just don't realize it yet. I do realize it. I was just looking at something else. Take a moment to think it over again, okay? I'm sorry. I wanted to press this one, I think. Wouldn't it have been better to wait for the police to arrive? Remember, though, by that time I was already Wright's defense attorney. Wouldn't do for me to become part of the investigation. It super doesn't make sense. He was not already Wright's defense attorney. The call came after. That is really annoying. Where were you when the phone call came? I had already left the Borscht Bowl Club by that time. On the phone he asked me to defend him. Naturally, I was surprised. I accepted, however. I couldn't abandon him. So kind of you. So far, everything jives with Mr. Ray's testimony, I think. It doesn't. Is it going to be a problem for you to cross-examine your own boss? I'm fine. I'm fine, my dude. Who was it who taught me never to pull punches in cross-examination? It was you, Mr. Gavin. I learned it from watching you. I know what I need to present. Do I press this again, or do I maybe probably could have just presented straight there, but I did not feel like it. I guess I will just click through all of this. Yes, I can. I can show the evidence. Now or never. I mean, it was now or never a while ago, but I wanted to look at the other ones first. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out. Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace? I mean, it's super obvious that it's this one. Oh. Wait, can I examine the blood? A single drop of blood marks the front of the card. Okay. Yeah, I mean... My reason is, this. Is that an ace? Is that an ace? Why, it's got blood on it. Right next to the spade. What? I can't do like an aggravated British scream. Which is a phrase I never thought I'd say. This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why? Could this be the missing 5th ace? I love how bright Wright's hat is over there. Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl. Hello? Oh, that card. It's mine. Oh, I'm trying to... keep forgetting I was doing a lower voice. Not much lower. Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are a stock and trade, after all. No! Impossible! Unacceptable! The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud! A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. A real killer. Oh. Is he just making a fake so Kristoff outs himself? Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime. Where are you going? Where are you going with this? Take another look at the photo and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Oh? Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why a killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. This is baseless conjecture. Baseless. I feel like he has a point here. This is a little bit strange. Also, I like that he's the one doing the objection when Phoenix is the one who's, like, in the defense chair. But, whatever. Oh. That's Phoenix objecting. Oh, my boy. This is a funny screenshot. Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. What? It's amazing, really. How a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes? Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head. Hello? This is fascinating. I love this 3D thing. The murder took place in the hideout. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Everything in this game is weird. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer swapped a card out, there's a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there's one decisive problem with this scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? What? I don't know. I would guess the victim. I super don't know. Because I don't know whose blood it is. We're assuming it's the victim's blood. But I don't remember whose card was swapped. I think it was Phoenix's. So I guess it's we're going with the victim. I super don't know. Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem? I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice. You know what? Neither do I. I was lying, actually. Oh, no, I was right. Okay. I was telling the truth. I knew the whole time that I was right. I was super confident in my decision the whole time. Okay. Well, look. The victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You'd think any blood would have fallen behind the body, not under the table in front of him. Ah! Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, yeah. The blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards. Why, that's right. So what does this mean? Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs. This is also a really funny thing to just, like, say in the middle of court. We were sitting in swivel chairs. That's not relevant, but it was fun. Swivel chairs? Oh, man. Apollo, try turning the chair around. Recreate the crime scene. My dude? Like that? Okay. The chair was facing the other way? It would have to be. Fair enough. So, we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table. I'm also in a swivel chair. Am I about to be murdered? When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing? When I came back into the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We now know that the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again? Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Paula, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? It's the killer's. I am going to save it anyway, because I am a scared little baby. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. The victim was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is. I would think it'd be quite hard, yes. Objection! Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game? I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light. What? There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Paulo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram. What? But... There's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry. Let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing toward the wall at the scene of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? I mean, you could be saying, like, over here or over here, but I think Phoenix is literally just telling me, put him in the bookcase. Put him in the bookcase. My dude. So I will do that. The killer had to be standing, well, here. Objection! You get points for flair, but that's about all you get. I thought I was onto something there, too. I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the killer climbed in the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha! It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that, at the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know. At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there. They moved a whole ass cupboard to cover up this crime? Hello? What's this now? I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard at the hideout immediately. Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard. Aye, Your Honor. What? There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff. Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Rat. I do my best. What is happening, my dude? But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. The killer was standing here at the time of the crime, and this cupboard wasn't here, which means Apollo tried moving the cupboard. Oh! It was slid so the window wouldn't work. Got it. Thank you. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here. We're also still, like, going off the assumption that you can't, like, hit someone... It's a swivel chair, first of all. You could hit them and then spin them around, and then the blood could drip backwards. Second of all, you could hit them from, like, the side and just, like, bonk them towards the table. Like, it's not impossible. Whatever. It has to have been a shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my. What's this? Whoa, what is it now? Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Huh? Oh, dang! Nice one. Nice, Apollo. Notice something, Apollo? A line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim? I know who it is. It's this boy. It's the second boy. I'm not even gonna save it. I'm not even gonna save it. I'm so confident in my abilities. About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window of the stairs. Okay. Ah! That's right! Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What did you just say? Oh? Is the coolest defense in the West losing his cool? Ugh. Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court, exactly where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is a court of law, and I will have order. We just now received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Bowl Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor. Oh? And what did they find? Well, Your Honor, it turns out there's a secret passage behind it? What? Insane. This is an insane first case. Okay. Ah, yes. I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. Regulars like Clavier? He's not here yet. Christoph Gavin. Regulars like Christoph Gavin. Secret tunnel. I don't actually know what that is from. Anyway. I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it. The secret passage is a handy thing when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room is the secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops. Enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. The fact they keep bringing up borscht in this case is... I don't even know what borscht is. I feel like I need to go, like, try some borscht now. Like, I have no choice. Just like our killer. You see where our simple line of... Let me try that again. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo. I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for the few minutes in between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin? I want to say something. He's gonna be like cool, calm, and collected and it won't matter. Dare I ask what really happened that night? Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. They were lovers, Your Honor. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Ah! Eee! Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Who's saying that? I guess Phoenix was. Miss Olga Orley was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. The victim must have heard the slidered cupboarding aside. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look and... BAM! After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red! This is nonsense. I mean, it's just as nonsense as any other case in this game. But, like, the fact that the lawyers just seem like they go from the super obvious solution to the super out there, like, insane solution, and it works for some reason. Like, every time I'm in awe. Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly, truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne? Yeah? Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Ah! Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately. My dude, I thought this was finally over. No need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin. Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? Evidence. Evidence! The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Yeah. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. I don't actually remember, but I think it is like I don't remember what constitutes illegal evidence. I guess you can't prove that anything doesn't make sense. That is a weird thing to prove. How do you do that? Anyway, illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. I'm not your... He's not... You're not... You're not his defense attorney. I am. Get out of here, my dude. Illegal evidence. Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? They're not just any fingerprints, right, Mr. Payne? Actually, yes. The defense fingerprints on the bottle were, upside down. I mean... Yeah, I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. Shouldn't we, like... Well, Shady Smith, his fingerprints also should be on there, first of all, because he clocked the woman. Second of all, the card should be in there. Yeah, the card should be in there. His fingerprints could have gotten... Oh my god. Excuse me. I'm so tired. His fingerprints could have gotten on when he was putting the card in. It is a weird, like, they're upside down, but, like, it very much all could be forged evidence, like, whatever. The court, in this case, demanded an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? Ah, see how the caught fish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo? Yes? Your boss seems awfully concerned about this grape bottle still. Grape bottle? Bottle. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that. Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Why am I so tired? Stop being tired. I do want this case to be over so I can go to bed, but Mr. Gavin is not taking it well, I think. Alright. I believe you'll find another answer there in plain sight in the court record. How about you just say the answer and play words? Yeah. Please. It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions, indeed. Well, Mr. Justice? Mr. Gavin said that the court in this case demand an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done. He got given the correct last name and decided he would never stop bringing it up, I think. Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down? I don't know. I super don't know. I genuinely... 'Cause... it's between... But no, why would it be this? Like, my best guess is the... My best guess is just to present the bottle itself, but that seems stupid. But, like, they've done that before. Let me think about it for a second. Why would the bottle be upside down? There's going to be something stupidly clever. I think. That's my guess. The only time he touched it was to obviously pour juice and then to put the card in. So that's a victim's hand. to take the card out of it? Okay. Okay. I have no idea how to explain it. You're thinking too hard, Apollo. The answer's right in front of you. Just reach down and pick it up. Or try picturing situations in which one might grab a bottle upside down. Okay. I could just reload that save, but I don't feel like it. I'm gonna try the card. If it's not the card, I reload the save. Okay. It's not that. Load. Attorneys are never wrong. You can never... It's true. I kind of want to... I genuinely don't know what else it would be. Either. Unless I just present this and just say it has to do with the cards. But that was kind of my reasoning for that card, and it didn't work. That's not it. That's not it. The attorney's badge did not work. Okay. This is so annoying. What? What on earth? I don't know, and I'm mad that I don't know. Unless... Are you saying that is the actual answer? The badge should have worked? Are you kidding me? Let me try it again, see if the actual reaction is different. I genuinely can't tell if you're being sarcastic. No, because that didn't work. This is a bit. Okay. I'm stressed. I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh, God. Are we just saying that... It's okay. You're totally good. I'm just really stupid, and I'm really trying. Oh. Did I just save it? I just saved it. Oops. Oh well. It's fine. It's totally fine. One might grab a bottle upside down. What the... What the... Oops. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna actually die. The answer's right in front of you. Why is the answer right in front of me, my dude? Help me. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong buttons again. I'm getting anxious. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I can just press F1. Are you kidding me? Why was that it? Why was that? Why was that it? Okay, it was this picture. Oh my god. Are you joking? Are you joking me? I know what they're going for. It's that it was next to him, so he picked it up in a weird way. Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Is this a joke, my dude? This sucks. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me? On the floor? Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. Ah! See, you naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Do you? I don't. I mean, I guess if it's behind you, you might. Yeah. If it's like down and behind you, that's such a silly. I don't feel bad about that one. I don't feel bad about like save scumming, I guess. That. I am sad it's not the badge. I think the badge should have worked. I think the badge was the correct answer, and this is the wrong answer, and it was a glitch, actually. Anyway. Stupid. Stupid case. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor, to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. I can, Your Honor. This court is insane. Recall our dinner that evening, Kristoff. I was drinking my usual juice then, too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed. But then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon. And that also makes sense why, like, Shady Smith's fingers are not on it. Because, like, there's gotta be one that has his fingerprints on it, too. Fingerprints don't mean shit. Okay. Order, order, order! What have you got to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. Please shut up. I'm tired. Just give up. Just do your little breakdown sequence and be done. You claim that I switched the bottle. Where's your proof? Proof? Well, that's, as I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. Oh, the one that has Kristoff's fingerprints on it would have the card in the bottle. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation? Ah, yes. I have your memo about that here. That's what the memo is about. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question. This is... Dare I say it? This is a little bit of a Deus Ex Machina. It's not really. It's like, it kind of verges on the line of, oh, out of nowhere, here's a new piece of evidence that has the murderer's fingerprints on it. So, like, but, like, we still also had to prove a lot to get to this point. So it's not the worst. I don't know. Huh. What, are you going to dust that for fingerprints too? I'd be surprised if any were on that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes. Oh, I was giving him the wrong accent, Jesus. Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle. I want to look inside. I was right. Ah, there's something inside the bottle. What's this? That card. That card. It can't be. Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. She was lovely. I loved her. Shut up, Phoenix. Miss Olga Early? Yes, our little swindling Devochka. Devochka. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... Yeah, obviously. You're telling me this is the planted card you disposed of? Obviously. We looked for it earlier, was it? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony. It looks like such a dingus in this sprite. It's lovely. What a little guy. I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found that it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped. The only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. Or you. He could have done it, I think. Easily. I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense for him to, because he would just be switching another bottle with his fingerprints on it. Either way. Olga would... Yeah, and he was the only one who knew that it was in there, so the murderer would be the only one to switch bottles. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. And Olga wasn't the murderer because she was already knocked out. Shady Smith was the victim. Got it. Oh. Hello? Are you okay? A magician? That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago. My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. I don't think that was sad. I think that was angry. Like, plates... yeah, plates levitate around me when I'm sad, but not when I'm angry. This is different. This is some magic. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. You say that like you did all the work. I did a lot of this. I'm pretty good at my job. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete. I think it's tete-a-tete. Tete-a-tete. Whatever. Right. This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to... This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? Oh, you lost. You lost the case, my dude. I believe this time we finally come to the end of our trial. I did on the... I mean, I tried it on the last thing for the bottle. I didn't try it on many other things. But I did say, the second I saw it, my brain immediately went to saying, this badge, Your Honor, proves that I'm a lawyer, with, absolute childlike glee. So I think that counts. We finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you actually have do you have a report on us for Mr. Jesus Christ. Mr. Payne, do you have a report on us on Christoph Do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin? He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now. I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. There is no motive. Yeah. He didn't have a connection to the victim, did he? None that we know of. Mr. Wright, do you have anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter. About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith? His occupation was listed as traveler. Not profession to be sure, and that's all we know about him. I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor. When I do the voices back to back, it's very clear that they are the same voice. But whatever. And not the same, but you know what I mean. Good. Mr. Wright? Yes? 7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented, to be sure. I needed 2 things before I could confront him. First was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. This courtroom has tolerated a lot of injustice throughout the years. I don't know what you are thinking of, Mr. Phoenix Wright, but okay. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Let's go, gamers. Me? A dark time is coming for our legal system. You could say that again. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own court system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright? Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I did it! Yay! I'm filled with absolute pride and glee at seeing that screen. Like, I don't know. It's like nostalgic in a way that is very strange because I've never played these games before. Anyway, I'm very happy I have won the first case. Court is adjourned. Adjourned. Alright. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Hello, my dude. Thanks, Apollo. You came through, just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. the killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability. Yeah, that was super weird. Ability? Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... You're the one who told me about it. How do you, like, know about it if you lack it? Oh, are we, like, going over this again? What's this weird vibe I'm getting? Oh, I thought that... yeah. What was that, Mr. Wright? Oops, clicked the wrong tab. You'll have to find out the answer to that question yourself. The answer, right. He looks like really, like, it's a cross between like depressed and absolutely aloof and like no thoughts head empty. I just want to give him a little kiss on the forehead. I wanted to do that through the whole trilogy, and now even more so. Today was full of questions without answers, most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me, I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Little wacky little child. Your daughter, right? That's right. she's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. Eh? I took this off his neck the night he died. Okay, yeah, we didn't go over this yet. So, why was he wearing... we'll get to it. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. I don't know the Hat in Time. I know the name, but I've never, like... I don't even know if it's, like, a book or a movie. Gotta be honest. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him. Then why does he have a picture of your kid in it, my dude? Wait, but that's perjury! Are we back to like weird rules on perjury? Like it still exists in this universe? Hello? You testified! You said that locket was yours! I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. Oh, it definitely would have been funnier. But I'm a uncultured swine, I guess. I don't know half of any references. That's why I'm playing this game, because I feel like I missed out on the whole Ace Attorney thing until RT played it. So now I'm like, oh, all of these characters that I like kind of know, like, but from fan art, they are real. They exist. But yeah, no, maybe if I remember, I'll look it up. Like, it's probably, I've definitely heard about it before. Like, I know the name. Yeah. I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside of it? Is she your daughter, my dude? And now he's just going to be cryptic. Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. Still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo. Yeah? How about coming to work for me? You mean at the Wright & Co. law offices? Isn't he, like, not a lawyer? I mean, there's not a single in my there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. I can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but you're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yeah. I'm not an attorney anymore. I want to know so bad. I want to know. That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good. Please tell me about this stupid case. I want to know. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. I was right! I was right. I think this is forged, and Kristoff noticed, but... And that it was never... Was it officially submitted as evidence? I'm pretty sure this one's fake. Because Kristoff was like, that's fake, and then Phoenix was like, the only person who would know it's fake is the killer. Oh my god. You look closer, and it's Furio Tigre's little cardboard badge, and it's like, who swapped my badge out? Who did this? Oh my god. Okay. There's a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I was right. I was right. Oh, this is the little thing that's like, if you get it wrong, then you don't get to try again. I think this is correct. We're gonna hope. Let's go, gamers. You mean this, don't you? Got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes. That card shouldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. Leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. Yeah. A fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. I was right. Oh, it has to do with the suits, I bet. He knew it was a different suit because there were 5 aces, so we couldn't have guessed which ace it was. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then you really... Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. No, I don't get it. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney. He doesn't call himself an attorney. Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo? So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? I'm still out of a job, my dude. You are not helpful. I punched him? No, I did not. I would never do such a thing. Don't do this. Don't say that I punched this man. I would never punch Phoenix Wright. This is a lie on the screen. It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright, why would you give this to me after I punched you? Oh, about your uppercut? Try yelling, "Take that!" next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. I literally just punched a celebrity. Like, in front of these 2 guards who just did not care. Can't believe this. Ugh. Apollo and we are not the same. Apollo, I cannot be blamed for Apollo's actions that he takes without consulting. Anyway. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. Alright. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They put Maya on trial 3 times? Twice? 2 or 3 times for doing things. Like, when are they gonna put the... They put the lawyer's assistant on trial. Twice. A lot. They've done it a lot, because they just made Gavin the killer. When am I going to be on trial? They also just put Phoenix on trial. When am I going to be put on trial as the player character? Is what I'm trying to ask. Everyone on the defense side is always ending up on the witness stand, my dude. Anyway. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day. Connected by single thread of logic. Really? I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. Oh, it's so cheesy. Incredible. Oh, incredible. Let's go. All right. And with that, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm a sleepy little guy. And yeah, okay. I'm very tired and I want to go to bed. And I am so, I'm so, I'm having so much fun playing this. Like, genuinely, I feel such true joy experiencing this. Um, so I'm very excited to come back. Oh, I mean, yeah, fair enough. Um, being the only person in chat and actually getting a response from the streamer almost every time makes me feel like a cruel theater instructor yelling prompts at a struggling actor. I wanted to read that out just so later when I watch the VOD back, I get to do a little chuckle again at that one because I was a theater kid. I feel that so strongly. Um and also like I I don't stream like often or consistently at all. Um so but I do like try and interact with people when they're in chat because it's fun. It's so much more fun to like talk to people and not like just sit in my room by myself. Um Ace Attorney makes it easier. Before I was playing The Sims, which doesn't have a story, so that and then Stardew, which also doesn't really have a story. So it's like, wow, I am so lonely. But this like having a story to focus on and also having people to like even even you like telling me little instructions to do or whatever as a little theater instructor. Like it's so much fun. It makes me feel it makes me feel like I don't know, it's worth it. Okay, the freaking following notification comes through, but the chat doesn't come through Streamlabs. What's that about? Anyway, um I'm trying to think when I can be back. I might I'm going to stream tomorrow, but I have no idea what time. Possibly around the same time again and also possibly like way earlier. Um so if you want to come back and keep up with the stream, you're totally welcome to. Also, like, no pressure to if you don't. I'm just gonna be playing more Apologistice. uh, but yeah, um, probably around like what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. I sound yeah, it sounds good. Like it's no pressure, obviously, because I have no idea what time I'm going to um try to do. Actually, yeah, it won't be this time. It'll be earlier because I have stuff in the evening tomorrow. So, um, yeah, that's it for today, though. I'm going to bed. Uh, but yeah, thank you for watching. Um, I don't know what to do. I don't end streams. I do every time I stream, I have to end the stream. I don't know how to do it though. Um, so I'm just gonna say see you tomorrow. Maybe, hopefully, at some point. Maybe not. Um, thanks for yeah. Thanks for like being here. Thanks for being here. Intros and outros are hard. It's all difficult. It's all it's all interesting. It's all the time. Um, yeah. Good night.